Well, from smart glasses to fitness bands to watches, wearable tech is expected to generate nearly $3 billion this year, and that's according to a study by Deloitte. Now, with more on the wearable tech market, we're joined by Ari Zoldan, CEO of Quantum Networks. Ari, good to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
So, Ari, as we saw in Mark News' report, fashion and technology are at a bit of a crossroad. One thing that people seem to love is the look of the Beats headphones. There are more expensive versions out there. There are even some that would say the technology of others are better, but Beats seems to have been successful in combining technology and fashion. What do you think of Apple's $3 billion acquisition?
I think it's a great move, and I think if Steve Jobs was here today, he would certainly get behind it. I think we talked about this convergence of fashion and technology down to the consumer level. It's happening now.
Okay, well, one thing that still has consumers a little bit iffy about in terms of the look is Google Glass, and you do have a pair with you right now.
Here we go. It is a bit cumbersome and looks a bit odd, but again, this is the first iteration of Google Glass and what the industry is calling wearable technology. So
what's so great about it?
Well, you could take photos. Google's in the space of capturing content. So instead of being on the keyboard, if you can walk around the street and talk to you, and I can record video, I could take pictures of you, I could read my email, look at the time. There's some value there.
I don't know. I tried it on a few seconds earlier, and it's harder to sort of sync your vision with the rest of your peripheral vision with the Google Glass Cube than it is to just glance down at your phone. Is this more of a shtick and a gimmick, or is
it is a little sticky. It is a little sticky, certainly. But again, this is the first iteration. So I think as these glasses, as the technology evolves, we're going to see the glasses become smaller.
What kind of applications is Google Glass going to offer to both consumers and professionals that it's really going to differentiate it from other functions that you can do on your cell phone, for example, just minus your hands?
So that's a big question. I mean, everyone right now is pushing into this, what Google is calling glass, into this wearable technology. I think time will tell which companies are actually going to gain, which companies are going to gain very specific verticals, and they're going to try to go for. Right now, it's a complete mass market appeal.
Well, you mentioned something that in the future this may help surgeons, perhaps, in terms of in the operating room where they can use that and maintain their hands for surgery. What are more specific uses that Google Glass brings to the party?
Well, I mean, there's disaster recovery. So if you could be running through the fields, and you could potentially save, or firefighters, for instance, is a good example. Firefighters going through a burning building, if they, without the recorders, they can go in there and the glass is attached to their helmet, they could see mapping, which obviously Google is in that space, though. We do, but this is a little more advanced than GoPro, and in a couple of years, you're going to see a big explosion, mapping laying on top of the glass.
Okay. Another big thing in wearable tech has been the whole fitness trend, the whole fitness band. Samsung coming out now saying it wants to take it into more of a health and medicine direction. They've opened up a platform for medical professionals and app developers. What are we going to see that's different than measuring my heart rate or how many hours I've slept?
That's a big question, but I think companies like Samsung, they are on the cutting edge, especially with mobile and mobile applications. So couple that with fitness and technology, potentially you have a really powerful product.
Well, Microsoft, according to Forbes today, saying it's planning a smartwatch that will sync the iPhone, the Android phone, and the Windows phone. What do you expect from Microsoft?
I think they're a little bit late to the game. I think companies like Google and Samsung are going to get the lion's share of the market. I think Microsoft is a bit behind in this space.
But what else in terms of wearable tech should we be looking out for? I know pet technology is another niche area.
Yeah, pet is hot. You have these pet trackers out there today. I mean, the potential applications technology that could be layered on top of your daily uses is absolutely it's extraordinary. And this moves into also what the industry calls machine to machine too. So you'll be able, with glass, you'll be able to communicate with your refrigerator. Your refrigerator will be able to communicate with your checkout button on your website and order your milk. And there's a sequence and a pattern of events here.
So I have my Google glasses on, I open my fridge, I see there's no milk, and then it sends the message to...
And then there's a little shopping cart that will pop up and say, okay, order me some additional milk.
The other thing that's very interesting is apps or wearable tech and apps that are being specifically designed for children. Tell us a little bit more about that.
That's a great space too, and a lot of the companies are betting that the child demographic, the children demographic, this is going to be a big explosion. So they're all running to the market right now, opening up app stores and opening up applications, anticipating the explosion of the wearable tech.
So what kind of uses could we see there? Just ways to track your child and their activities?
Tracking is huge, but there's games that are layered on it also, and there's education tools, which obviously is a big one.
So what would you say is the biggest trend in wearable tech to watch out for right now?
Fitness. Fitness is incredible because it's a passionate community, and the people that invest in fitness gear, they're going to be investing in fitness technology, and I think that's the space to bet on.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, but so interesting. Thank you so much, Ari Zoldan, CEO of Quantum Networks.